Not long ago, buy now, pay later was for this. A sneaker, a gadget, a flight you'd been planning for 6 months. You've split it into 4 payments, felt smart, moved on, no big deal. Today, 1 in 3 Americans is using it for groceries, milk, bread, eggs. That number has doubled in 2 years. And more than half of the people using these loans say they couldn't make ends meet without them. That is not a payment preference. That is a dependency. And it happens so quietly, most people didn't notice until the checkout button was already inside their fridge. By the end of this, I'm giving you 2 questions, 30 seconds, that tell you whether any BNPL offer in front of you is safe to take or a trap. Every single time. Straight up, because you deserve that. Buy now, pay later is not automatically a scam. Used one specific way, it's a perfectly reasonable tool. I'll show you exactly what that looks like before we're done. But the way most Americans are actually using it right now, it's one of the most quietly destructive financial habits in the country, and it's spreading fastest among the people who can least afford it. I'm going to show you 4 receipts. 4 ways this product is working exactly as designed, against your wallet, not for it. And then the 2 questions that cut through all of it. BNPL doesn't sell itself as debt. That's the whole architecture. The pitch is framed as financial intelligence. You'd buy it anyway. Why hand over the full amount today when you can keep the cash in your account a little longer? 0 interest, 4 payments. That's just smart. And for a man who prides himself on making calculated moves, not impulse buys, calculated moves, that framing hits exactly right. Here's what the data says about why Americans actually choose it. You'd assume the top reason is, I can't afford it right now. Wrong. The number 1 reason, according to LendingTree's 2026 survey of over 2,000 American adults, is convenience. Easy to use, easy to get. Less than 14% say it's because they lack access to credit. Meaning, most of the people using this didn't need it to afford something. They used it because it was frictionless. The checkout button made it feel effortless. That feeling is the product. Because the moment a purchase feels smaller, 4 pieces instead of 1, you buy bigger, you buy more often, and eventually you buy things you didn't plan to buy at all. Like groceries. Let's start with that receipt, because it's the one that shows you exactly how a luxury becomes a lifeline. Receipt 1. And I'm starting here because this is the moment that tells you everything about where this product has gone. 2 years ago, 14% of BNPL users said they'd used it to buy groceries, a minority, a fringe case. Today it's 29%. Nearly 1 in 3 users, doubled in 2 years. And grocery spending is now the 4th most common BNPL category in America, behind clothing, tech, and home goods. But here's the number underneath that number. More than half of all BNPL users say they couldn't make ends meet without these loans. And among parents with children under 18, the people buying milk and bread and school supplies, that number climbs to 62%. 6 in 10 parents with kids say BNPL is not a convenience. It is a financial lifeline. Sit with that for a second. This product was launched with marketing about sneakers and flights and holiday gifts. It found its way to the grocery aisle because American household budgets cracked. Groceries for a family of 4 now run over $1,400 a month, according to USDA estimates. When a paycheck doesn't stretch that far, and a checkout button says, take it home now, pay in 4, people tap it. Not because they're irresponsible, because the math stopped working. And it's not stopping at groceries. 13% of users have used BNPL to pay rent. 15% for medical or dental bills. The product that started as a luxury checkout button is now threading through the most essential parts of American life. But here's the thing that makes this a financial trap, and not just an economic observation. These loans still carry late fees. They still report to credit bureaus now. And the people using them for survival are statistically the ones most likely to miss a payment. Which brings us to receipt 2. That was the big picture. Receipt 2 is what happens inside a single person's finances once they start. And 60% of users are already there. Here's a number that should make you open your apps right now. 60% of BNPL users are carrying multiple active loans at the same time. 3 in 5. Not the struggling ones. All users. Right now, more than half the people using Buy Now Pay Later are juggling more than 1 loan, simultaneously, because each one felt manageable when they took it. $90 for the kids' shoes, $140 for the printer cartridges, $60 for the grocery run, individually, fine. Together, that's close to $300 in monthly obligations you can't see on any single statement. And here's the structural reason this keeps happening. BNPL providers don't talk to each other. When you apply for a new Affirm loan, Affirm has no idea you've got 2 Klarna loans and an Afterpay running. Each lender approves you in isolation. The system has no mechanism for seeing your full picture, and the apps aren't designed to show you that picture either. The Federal Reserve calls this phantom debt. It exists, it pulls from your paycheck, but until very recently, it lived completely outside the traditional credit system. Outstanding BNPL debt in the United States is sitting at over $3 billion right now, according to the Richmond Fed's 2026 economic brief. $3 billion in debt that most lenders, including mortgage lenders, couldn't see when they made decisions about you. I said until very recently. That's because the rules changed in 2025, and that is Receipt 3, the one most users genuinely don't know about yet. Receipt 3 is the ambush, because a lot of Americans made financial decisions in 2024 and 2025 based on something that is no longer true. One of the main reasons Americans chose BNPL over a credit card was this belief. It doesn't touch my credit score. No hard pull, no reported balance, no footprint, it's clean. Affirm started reporting loans to credit bureaus in 2025. FICO is now incorporating BNPL activity into its scoring model. The credit invisible safety net is gone. Here is why that matters right now, today. According to LendingTree's May 2026 BNPL tracker, their most current data, 47% of BNPL users made at least one late payment in the past 12 months. That's up from 41% the year before, nearly half. And a significant portion of those people were late because they genuinely believed missing a BNPL payment had no credit consequences. They didn't rush. They didn't set reminders because they thought it was consequence-free. For anyone planning to buy a house, refinance, or apply for a car loan in the next 2 to 3 years, a BNPL late payment flagged on your credit report right now is potentially the most expensive grocery run you ever made. Klarna and Afterpay are still more cautious about reporting, but the pressure is mounting from all sides. The CFPB is watching this category. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority brought BNPL under full regulatory oversight in 2026. The window where this debt lived outside the system is closing, and it is closing fast. Therefore, if you're using BNPL for anything, groceries, rent, medical bills, a sneaker, treat every payment like a credit card payment. Set the auto pay the day you take the loan. Do not assume the old rules still apply. They don't. Last receipt. This one is about the bigger picture. Because there's a pattern underneath all of this that the industry doesn't want you to name. I'll be straight about what this is. This is correlation data, not a controlled experiment. But the pattern is consistent enough that you need to know it. On average, Americans who use BNPL services carry $871 more in credit card debt, plus $453 more in personal loans than people who don't use BNPL. That's from Empower's analysis of actual account data. Now, maybe the people with more debt are more likely to turn to BNPL in the first place. That's a fair interpretation. But look at the direction of travel. BNPL was supposed to be an alternative to credit card debt. The pitch was, use this instead of your card. The data says it's appearing alongside the card debt, not instead of it. That makes sense when you remember Receipt 1. The product isn't designed to manage your existing spending. It's designed to increase your transaction size and your transaction frequency. Every retailer that offers BNPL pays a fee to make it available because it increases the average order value. That's the business model. A product whose entire financial logic depends on you spending more is not a debt management tool. It is a debt expansion tool dressed up as a checkout convenience. Step back and all four run the same play. 1. Make the purchase feel smaller than it is. 2. Make the approval feel effortless. 3. Make the debt feel invisible. 4. Collect quietly every 2 weeks while you think you're on top of it. The tool isn't interest. It's friction removal. They took the one thing that makes you stop and think before spending, the moment of paying, and made it completely painless. That's the design, And it works. American BNPL spending grew 21% in a single year. Now here's where most videos like this lie to you, and I won't. Buy now, pay later is a legitimate tool in one specific situation. If you have a purchase you are already going to make, you have the cash sitting in your account, you set the auto pay on day one, and you have zero other active BNPL loans running at the same time, you are borrowing someone else's money for free for a few weeks. That's a rational move. Notice what that requires. A planned purchase, not an impulse. Cash you already have. One loan, not six. And auto pay so a missed payment never becomes a credit event. If any one of those four conditions isn't true, the offer is working against you. The product isn't evil. It's just being used at checkout on a Tuesday for groceries by someone who already has 3 other loans running. And that was never the case it was built for. Here's the playbook. And the 2 questions I promised. 1. Before you take any BNPL offer, open every BNPL app you have. Count every active loan. If the number is more than 1, close the tab. You're already in the stacking trap. Adding another loan doesn't fix it. 2. Set autopay on every BNPL loan the same day you take it, immediately. Not I'll remember, autopay. Because 47% of users missed a payment last year, and a significant number of them thought it didn't count. It counts now. 3. Track your total debt number in one place. Credit cards, personal loans, and every BNPL balance as one figure once a month. If that number trends up while your income holds flat, the payment method isn't the lever. The spending rate is. And the 2 questions. Anytime a BNPL offer appears at checkout, before you tap, you ask these in order, 30 seconds. Question 1. Would I make this purchase right now at full price if BNPL didn't exist? Question 2. Do I currently have 0 other active BNPL loans? If the answer to question 1 is no, BNPL didn't help you afford something. It manufactured a purchase you wouldn't have made. Close the tab. If the answer to question 2 is no, you're about to add another layer to a stack you haven't cleared. Don't. Both yes? Set autopay. Move on. That's the complete filter. 30 seconds. It works because it forces exactly the decision that the checkout screen was designed to prevent you from making. Let's land it. 4 receipts. The grocery crossing. BNPL went from sneakers to survival for 1 in 3 Americans. And the companies know exactly why. The stacking trap. 60% of users are carrying multiple loans simultaneously in a system built to prevent you from seeing the total. The credit ambush. Affirm started reporting in 2025. 47% have a late payment they thought didn't count. And the debt stack. BNPL users carry nearly $900 more in credit. Card debt than non-users. It's not replacing debt, it's adding to it. The sneaker and the groceries. That arrow between them is the whole story. It didn't move because Americans got careless. It moved because the checkout button got easier every year, and the paycheck didn't keep up. The companies didn't cause the inflation, but they absolutely saw the gap, and they put a pay in 4 button right inside it. The 2-question checklist is in the description. Free. 30 seconds every time. And if this just changed how you'll look at the next checkout screen, send it to the one person in your life who's using a different BNPL app for every purchase and calling it financial strategy. They need it more than you do.